Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another stream. I'm your host, Kira Tuesday, but you already knew that. Alright, so today we're going to be playing two very different games with very different tones. First one we're playing is Deepest Sword, where essentially we're trying to penetrate a dragon with the length of our sword, but in a literal sense. Then afterwards, we will be playing Tiny Bunny. The reason I scheduled both of these games is just because I know that Deepest Sword will probably take like an hour ish. And I know that that's going to be pretty short, so I wanted to squeeze in another game title thing. Tiny Bunny Prologue seemed to be relatively popular, so I actually decided to get the full version of it like a little while ago. So yeah, we're going to be doing that today. And let me swap it out. Bam. Alright, when I swap to Tiny Bunny, I'm going to have to adjust some things. Oh, another thing regarding Tiny Bunny is that I have adjusted it so it matches off where we left off after finishing Tiny Bunny Prologue. So I'll be starting at Chapter 2. Let me also just adjust this a little bit. Alright, so we only got like two whole controls, left and right. A and D. So we'll see how well this goes. Venture deep into the cavern of longing. Long the dragon lies ahead. Who dares challenge me? Take your best stab. Come on, I got it. There we go. That's it? Yeah, it was just the tip. I've brought you back. I've made your blade longer. Alright, here we go. Drive it deeper in this time. I'm gonna have to remember that the mouse buttons indicate specific directions. The cavern looks deeper than before. R. Aha. Aha, I understand. Let's see. There we go. Will it be big enough this time? Come on. Get in the hole. Get in the hole. There we go. Hehe, that tickles. I've lengthened your blade a bit more. Be careful of its weight. Big sword. It's getting deeper and deeper. Come on. Oh, I actually gotta platform a little bit. A slow fall slips less. Alright, here we go. Oh. Okay, I need the positioning. I require positioning. Come on, you can do it. Okay. Behind me. I can do it. Yeah, I'm not tall enough to get over that on my own. Oh, there we go. Alright, I did it. No, no! You get right to the edge. There we go. There we go. Oh my god. Oh. No, no! Oh no, I gotta try and get it again. No. I can do it. Damn it. I pressed the wrong. Oh my god, wrong button, please. There we go. Oh, there we go. I did it. Yes! Yes! Oh, I did it. Let's see what you got. Show me what you got. Ah, felt something that time. I'm almost at the limit. You'll notice its weight. Such length may be troublesome. It's even deeper now. Don't give up. Okay, we're ready. We're already at our first little dilemma. Ah, shit. Okay, I can't go that way. Let me just do that. Oh, there we go. Come on. I made it to a checkpoint. Bless up. Okay. Maybe I am tall enough to actually make it over. Okay, I'm not tall enough to do that. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, there's more. More terrain. Understanding the pivot is key. I'm not tall enough for that, so I actually gotta go this direction. Oh my goodness. Come on, how did I get on top of that before? Okay, there we go. Oh, oh my god. No, I had it. I had it. Oh god. Come on, I had it. I had it. No. Oh, I had it. Come on. There we go. There we go. Damn it. Alright. Okay. 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 We got this. We got this. Oh, no, please. Okay. Hmm. Oh, wait. Okay, that didn't work. Oh, I almost had it. Okay. Okay. Um, no, I don't. No! No, I'm stuck. No, I don't want to have to redo all of that. I got it. Oh, this actually sucks. Damn it. No. What? Oh my god. Okay. Oh baby. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Yes! What a long sword you have. So deep. You hold the longest sword in the land. It is the deepest sword. Oh, that's gonna be. Alright, here we go. So deep. Alright, I already have to change my approach at this first. Interesting. Alright. Okay. Oh, no, no. Okay. It's gonna be a little more difficult, but I can do it. Oh, no. Okay. Oh my god. No. Come on. Nope, I gotta go this way. I don't have another choice. And I can't get up that way. I have to go this way. Hello. Wow, this looks awkward. Yeah, no, definitely. This is like the most difficult I think I'm going through this entire game. Like, how am I supposed to get up there? Ah, come on. Nope. Maybe I have to, like, once I get to that point, I have to just, like, completely go the opposite direction, I guess. So that didn't work. Kill me. So it needs to be, like, the perfect depth in that little crevice. For this to work. Oh, ah. I almost had it. Okay. No, no, I almost had it. Come on. No. No, I almost had it. It was standing on it. No. Yes! Oh my god! Oh, now just. Don't mess it up. Just don't mess it up. Okay. I'm scared. I don't want to redo all that. Mm. Ooh! Yes! Oh my god. No fear. One fear. Okay, so that doesn't work. Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay. No. Come on, come on, come on. Oh wait, I'm stupid. Come on, I can do it. Oh, come on, I'm almost there. I see it. Okay. Okay. No! I just had it! No. Oh, come on. Okay. Okay. Oh, you're kidding me. There's gotta be a way to, like, slide myself further down onto it, because it's just shy. Oh, yes! Oh, bless up. Oh, I did it! Wait a minute. Ah! I did it. We did it. The dragon is slain. I did it. That's that game. Alright. So let me quit out of that. And then nope. We're gonna swap to Tiny Bunny next. Very different tone shift. Okay, I'm just trying to boot it up off Steam. So let me do this. Oh, there we go. Swap into something very different. We're going from platformer to to visual novel. So we're gonna be starting at chapter 2. I'm gonna take some water drinking. If you haven't hydrated yet today, you probably should. Let me just adjust something real quick. Alright, there we go. So this time we will have the voice acting and stuff, because I know that that's something that someone wanted. I will still additionally read it. Because I noticed that all of the voice acting was not English. So I will do additional English reading. Episode 2. Play with you. New school, new teachers, and most importantly, new classmates, who I always have trouble connecting with. Like most other kids with glasses, probably. I forced myself to get out of my warm bed. Dad would usually drive me to my old school, but this morning, the bedroom of my parents was silent. Did they sleep in? Maybe it was a good thing. I didn't want to get the daddy's boy reputation from day one. My parents were probably still tucked in, dreaming about the good old days when everything was so simple and easy. Sweet dreams, even if far removed from reality. I silently sneaked out to the first floor so I wouldn't wake up anyone, especially the peacefully sleeping Olya. I did my best to step on the middle of every floorboard. I used to play like this even in our old apartment. If my soles touched the space between the floorboards, it counted as stepping into lava. The clock was spurring me with its hands. I need to hurry fast. Faster, faster. I was too fast, so I needed to circle the hallway once again. Boiling lava was bursting out of the cracks between the floorboards. I needed to watch my step to survive at any cost. hippity hop like a froggy jumping on molehills, like a fearful bunny in a grove full of wolves. I made a sandwich in the kitchen, shoved it down my throat, and drank it down with cold tea. My appetite was as good as of someone being fed up the scaffold toward a guillotine. I lowered my gaze and saw that one of my feet was standing on two floorboards at the same time. Burnt to a crisp, huh? I moved my foot. Disgusting little snakes writhed in my belly, the feel of getting hit and being called nasty names. The clock ticked. I need to go. It was dark outside, fitting for an early winter morning. Oh, I forgot to change the thing. I forgot to change the tag, the category. I'm sorry. I just realized. Let me adjust that real quick. Okay, let me just make sure that adjusted. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so that adjusted properly. Plug. Alright, back to reading. This darkness never fully left the houses around here. I took my time tying my shoes, buttoning up the puffy down jacket, trying to delay my unpleasant exit into the semi-dark, into the unnerving unknown. I rubbed my glasses for good luck, though I couldn't remember a single time these thick pieces of glass brought me any good fortune. The sky was akin to a giant bruise. On the east side of it, a black cloud was swelling up. It licked up stars from the sky and extinguished the rising sun. Darkness was plastered all over the treetops. The cautious cries of birds got tangled up in the thicket. I locked the front door with a long key that I wore around my neck. My parents made me wear this noose, afraid that I, being a total klutz that I am, could lose the key otherwise. The wind whizzed on the other side of the gate. It invited me into my new life, toward dubious adventures, and tagged alone like an old buddy, pushing me in the back. Wide windows that pines throughout covered a third of the ceiling. Upon reaching the edge of the forest, I hid my nose in the coat's collar. I was squeezing through the thin fire break, my hair ruffled up and my back hunched over. Tall trees stood on both sides of the tiny trail. The snowy blanket rustled under my feet, and the canopy of intertwined branches above my head cut me off from the already sparse sunlight. The night had no plans of moving away from the forest. In this darkness, trees reminded me of shaggy old women that smelled of brutal earth. Their trunks turned into cackled, wrinkled faces with holes in the middle of their mouths. If I lost focus even for a moment, mold-covered witches would drag me to the forest steps. Then my parents would be walking around these parts, screaming my name. But the dead can't answer the living. Or can they? A sense of panic was growing in my chest. I was fine with Dad carrying me into the school with his hands by now if it saved me from watching the darkness rise up from the ravines like black dough. It felt like someone jumped into the bushes behind me, so I turned around. As soon as I started walking faster, I heard the snow squeak behind me. The forest took a deep breath with its giant lungs. The windfall cracked. The wind and the birds were left behind in the field. Now I could only hear the forest creak. I walked, listening closely, and the unseen presence grew stronger. as if someone was following me, trying to match the pace of my footsteps. I turned my head so fast it made my neck crunch. A tiny trail behind me disappeared into the darkness. Tree branches overlapped, forming a natural tunnel.
Есть здесь кто?
Who's there? The question escaped my lips and dissolved into the unending creaking sound of the wooden idols, the pines around me. Why did I think going through the forest alone was a good idea? I'm either going mad, or someone had intentionally lured me away from home. Distant lights granted me a smidge of hope. A country road. Take me home to the place I belong. Anyway, I ran there as fast as I could, as if afraid that the trail will shrink. Clawed hands will grip me by the shoulders, turn me around, and make me look at the faces of hungry forest denizens. In the end, nobody stopped me. I almost flew into the decrepit wooden bridge, disbelieving my luck. The bridge's supports bathed in a spring, tarry, and ice cold. I put my hands on my knees and I looked up at the forest. Then snorted, trying to calm my breathing. The thicket was pretending to be asleep. It looked peaceful, lifeless. Someone sent a monkey out to kill— What? What do you mean Are you okay? I hope you're okay. That doesn't sound right. The thicket was pretending to be asleep. It looked peaceful, lifeless. The remaining part of my commute lied through a snow-laden road, illuminated by sparse lamplights. Maybe. I hope you're okay. I chased away bad thoughts and ran as fast as I could, from one circle of light to another, seeking protection from electric lamps. Just like that game where you need to be the first to proclaim, "I'm protected." Game. Oh, okay, so it's tag. Okay. I like the fact that I didn't realize that it had this. That's neat. It just in this case, that protection was flimsy at best, with darkness wreathing around its bounds. Then I noticed something remarkably eerie. In a place where the light from an inclined lamp couldn't reach, a hairy, crooked shadow came alive with a Gultier roar. Blech. It almost felt like its features deterred light. Its unnatural pose instilled fear. My eyes almost popped out of their sockets as I just stood there, blinking, trying to chase away that illusion. But the shadow didn't disappear and even got closer. My insides were gripped by horror. I stepped back and almost fell into a snow pile. The black silhouette, on the other hand, straightened up and addressed me in a sweet voice.
Чего крадешься? Душу мою украсть хочешь?
Sneaking around, huh? Trying to steal my soul. Words got stuck in my throat. Who could be talking in such a silky voice here, between the forest and the dormant village?
Чего молчишь, несмышленыш?
Will you say something, dummy?
Язык вырвать?
Cat got your tongue.
Слушай, а я тебе еще и нос откушу.
Alright, I'll bite off your nose then.
Будешь знать, как совать его в чужие дела.
That'll teach you not to poke it in places it doesn't belong. A girl stood before me, judging from the voice and the silhouette. But I couldn't even reprimand myself for getting scared by a girl before noticing a gaping mouth under her hood with something dangerously shiny inside. I was stunned. I was maybe sick, but I got them munchies, bro. I got Oreos and milk. No, that's good. Cookies and milk is always nice. I was stunned. Hmm. Interesting. From the cavity of her hood, a frighteningly real fox face was staring straight at me. It's just her jaws weren't moving and her eyes weren't blinking. A mask. It's just a girl with a fox mask on. At least I wanted to think that. After a surprise like that, a nervous smile involuntarily crept onto my
А
face.
я
I was just
просто в школу иду, а тут ты.
going to school and then you.
Что я?
What about me?
Никогда не видел, как лиса собаку кормит.
Never seen a fox feed a dog. And indeed, there was a small dog circling the girl's legs. One of the strays that were chasing me yesterday, probably.
Извини, я не хотел.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. After hearing my voice, the dog whimpered, lowered its ears, sniffed me out, and then started wagging its tail. I guess I still smelled of bologna that I ate for breakfast. I was shifting my gaze back and forth from the dog to the girl. She didn't seem scary anymore, just weird.
Значит, не хотел. Ну-ну.
So you didn't mean to, huh?
Как тебя зовут?
What's your name?
Меня Антон,
I'm Anton.
а тебя?
And you?
А меня нет.
And I'm not. She's weird. Definitely has a couple loose screws. But she has a nice voice. My astonishment has turned into a mix of happiness and relief. This girl I didn't know was definitely human, if a bit eccentric. I was also a bit angry at myself. This foxy girl was walking through the darkness without a problem, and I shuddered from every little sound. I could just walk away, but this girl had piqued my interest. The next time a police officer asks me about my friends at this new place, I'll tell him that I befriended a talking
Ты
fox.
здесь живешь?
Do you live around here?
В поселке?
In the village? The fox giggled and purred. Oh my god, it's Foxy from FNAF 1. Whoa! She spun around so hard the helm of her coat lifted up.
Нет, глупый.
No, dummy.
Лисы не живут в поселках.
Foxes don't live in villages.
Хочешь сказать, ты живешь в лесу?
So you live in the forest then?
Из какой норы ты вылез?
Have you been living under a rock?
Конечно. Лисам среди людей не выжить,
It's obvious that foxes can't survive anywhere near humans,
пока они лисы.
as long as they're foxes. Her jokes were also weird, just like her carnival mask, paper mache with fur glued onto it. The dog reminded us of its existence with a loud bark. I unfastened my backpack. Dad would sometimes throw food in there without my knowledge, cookies, apples, or even my favorite crab sticks. He called it a gift from the bunny. Treat from the bunny, the uneaten part of a business lunch or a treat specifically bought for children. Parents would tell their children that a bunny asked them to deliver said treat, but it could also be any other animal, a squirrel, a bear, for example. Alright. The stray strolled toward me with mincing footsteps, with a pleading look in its eyes. The fox did definitely treat it to something, but it was probably still hungry.
Зачем ты так вырядилась с утра пораньше?
Why are you dressed like this so early in the morning?
На утренник идешь?
Going to a costume party. The girl shrugged, throwing shivery snowflakes off her nose, and her human form along with them, turning into a genuine beast. A real fox, agile, cunning, dangerous. A moment of hesitation and you'll be ripped to shreds. She'll tear you up and gulp you down without breaking a sweat. I couldn't help but stand there, as a stump. Until I heard her calm, melodic laughter, hidden underneath the beastly mask. Imagine getting sick before a digital learning day. Like an online day? Like, I'm a bit confused.
видел бы ты свою маску, сладенький.
I wish you could have seen your own mask, sweetie. Sweet. Did you say sweetie? Oh, okay. I mean, that would kind of suck, but like, I mean, at least you're not missing any content. I got embarrassed when read to my hair roots. We've seen a fox in the zoo once, when we were there with Dad, but it had patchy fur, was gray and skinny. But this girl was of fiery color and furry. This was like in fairy tales. I was still rummaging through my backpack. My fingers, that were searching for the dog's treat, stumbled upon some soft, crumpled object.
Ничего,
You'll see.
скоро проснутся настоящие звери.
The real beast will wake up soon. Oh, I see how it is. You want me to say that? You want me to say both? Oh, heck. Aw, shit. Here we go again. Here we go again. Alright, we got a redemption for saying uwu and ara ara in the voices. Clearing out my throat. First, I'm gonna do the uwu. Oh, that was bad. Let me drink some water. Ah. Whenever I say ooh, I sound like an anime girl. I mean, that's usually the case for the sound. Alright, and then there's the I hope you thoroughly enjoyed that. There you go. That it. All right, back to the visual novel. Back to chapter 2. So based on it saying like the real beast will wake up soon, I have a feeling that it's gonna relate to when Anton, our protagonist, actually saw like the band of animals dancing in the distance, and also I feel like I sound like a drunk dog. It's all good. And then it also, the title screen, also I feel like alludes to more of these beast-like people. But yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see as it goes on. My friend just said this in front of me. My brain with 3 brain cells can't handle it. It be like that. Oh, this is one of the longer audios for the JoJo button. Golden wind, JoJo, golden wind. Ah, I had more water. Oh. Alright, time now I will continue. The real beast will wake up soon.
Спроси-ка лучше у них, где они взяли свои человеческие лица.
You should ask them where they got their human faces. The girl's shadow was dancing in the lamplight. What? Type ooh 5 times if a monkey will assassinate you soon? I mean... Oh no. Oh no! Ah. Man. We're gathered here today in memory of CJ, who is being attacked by an evil killer monkey. May his memory be long remembered, and may he never be forgotten. Minky. The dog yapped in agreement. I freaked out and dropped my finding. What? I freaked out and dropped my finding in the snow without getting a proper chance to examine it. I may eat the monkey. Oh! So it was just that one meme with Master Oogway from Kung Fu Panda going, monkey. But monkey would be referring to the taste of the monkey, I guess. I freaked out and dropped my finding in the snow without getting a proper chance to examine it. Cold wind instantly covered the hole it created with snow. The dog rushed to dig it out, wanted to get its treat. And the fox just snorted. Now I was so embarrassed I wanted to sink through the snow. It was still dark outside of the electric circle. On the contrary, the darkness seemed even more thick. I threw up on the floor. Man, if it was a food poisoning thing, you might have to just let it play out a little bit. If it's like really bad, you might have to see a doctor. But are you better now at least? That's fine. All neighboring houses were sleeping deeply in its inkiness. I did my best to continue the conversation with the weird girl I don't know. I ate shrimp pasta last night. Well, that's neat. 'Twas good. Oh, that's good. That's good to hear.
Так ты в школу идешь?
So are you going to school?
Ах, ну какой же дурачок!
Oh my, you are a real dummy.
Так ничего и не понял.
Don't you get it? Well, I was trying to be friendly, but you can't stop mocking me. And if I send you a message on Discord, will you get mad at me? I mean, like, I probably won't look at it until after stream, but I think it's okay. I'm just giving you a heads up that if you do send me a message over Discord, I won't be looking at it until after stream. That's the only thing. But I won't get mad at you for sending me a message over Discord. Yeah, so essentially, you know, like there's a Discord server, and I have it so like people can technically message me through that, or like I think I have like direct messages on, just because like people have been okay when it comes to messaging. Now, if people start getting creepy or something, I will turn that off, but it's been actually pretty decent quality conversations with people, and you know, like networking and such. I've just come to play with sound alerts. Lucky for you, I have all of the, well, most of them are free. The only one that actually costs bits is like a really long audio. People are always creepy. Oh, also, something that I did add is like something that I added like a few weeks ago. I'm still trying to figure out for text-to-speech for donations on Ko-fi, but there is text-to-speech on bit alerts. So if you were to donate bits and write a message, it should do text-to-speech. If it's working. Pretty sure it's working. Do with this information what you will. Calling me dummy and all. I should have just moved along without paying any attention to this weirdo and her stupid dog. Yeah, I need to figure out the text-to-speech thing. I mean, like, I think I was using Stream Elements. So Stream Elements I was using for bit text-to-speech. It kind of like, you essentially link, like, you basically, like, kind of, link your Twitch to it, and it... Amen. Essentially, you link your Twitch to it, and it is automatically able to do the bits. If you're doing Streamlabs, it might automatically tie in donations for text to speech, but it's because I have donations set up for Ko-fi that it's a little bit weird where I have to do something around. I kind of have to like work my way around the thing or use some kind of GitHub repository if someone's already made that. I haven't really had a chance to look into it again in the past few days. School's catching up a little bit. I should have just moved along without paying any attention to this weirdo and her stupid dog.
Ты чего обзываешься?
Why are you so mean?
Не хочешь отвечать, и пожалуйста.
Don't answer if you don't want to.
Никто не требует.
It's not like I care. Still, something froze me in place, tucked me toward the dark figure. A mysterious appearance, her voice that was velvety and just languid enough. I was intrigued and excited. I watched her as people watch fires burn. OMG, I just realized that the fox girl is a furry. I mean, perhaps. I mean, I don't... So with this, it's like, I don't know to what extent, like, the creatures of the night are humanoid or actual monsters. So that's the one thing. Anton noticed that she's kind of wearing a mask, but she just keeps calling herself a fox. So, I mean, I guess she's a furry. Who's to say? My friends tell me how to do it, but I'm busy doing other things. So many things to do all the time. I mean, that's fair. No, that's okay.
Ой, да не дуйся.
Oh, stop pouting.
Гляди-ка лучше.
Look here.
Ты нравишься Жульке.
Zulka is... I could not properly hear the voice actor because it was fast. Zulka? It kind of sounds like my little book concept of Blue Light Park. Look, I'll explain it. Alright. I'm going to assume the pronunciation of this character's name is Zulka, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. If someone else knows the actual pronunciation and can enunciate it in text, I would appreciate it, but if there isn't anyone, that's okay too. Zulka took a liking to you. The dog was digging through the snow with sharp movements, snoring loudly. The fox turned around and looked at the windows of a nearby house, as its timbered front through the white mist. So you're hearing a story of an idiot named Victor. He goes to a park called Blue Light Park then. Man, that's a whole Raven Dumpy going on right there. The tip of her fake nose was shining under the lamp's light.
И не только ей.
And maybe someone else too. I went red again, like a boiled crawfish, this time. Is she talking about herself or someone else? I hope that the semi-dark would be able to hide my embarrassment from the girl. I cleared my throat before asking.
А кому еще я нравлюсь?
And who's that person? I waited, counting my heartbeat. The fox didn't reply. Her sly stare was scanning the frosty patterns of someone's windows. He sees a sign saying don't enter radiated animals. He goes in anyway. He sees what he was warned about. Whoopster. A deformed monster bird. His name is Birdie. Oh, that actually seems pretty neat, actually. Like, I feel like you can expand upon that, like, a lot. It picks him up. Oh, is it like a giant bird? Is that what it is? Then soon drops him. Or... She was reading them like a glass book. I wonder what she can see in those winter paintings. The stray stopped rummaging through the snow. It ran to me, holding my object in her jaws. A mitten. Could it be the one I found in the forest? What is it doing here? When I looked closer, I realized that it was just my mitten. Maybe Mom stuffed it in when I was asleep? A certain missing boy immediately came to mind.
Эй, ты знаешь что-нибудь про Вову?
A deformed monster bird. He names it Birdie. He picks him up, then soon drops him. Yes, he falls. Then soon hits the ground. He blacks out. But it was just a memory of his war days. He wakes up, sees a lake, and there's something there. Huh. Hey, do you know anything about Volva? A dead giant fish. I imagine the scene, silhouettes dancing in the clearing. The dance on the night when Volva had disappeared. A boy who, when found, can provide a big reward and maybe save my family. I remembered my birthday when our parents promised to take me and Olya to Disneyland in Paris. But instead of a long-anticipated gift, they gave me a simple brick game console, visibly embarrassed. The swimming... Dad, he assumes he goes in, but it was a mistake of his. He gets bit by the fish. "5 months of survival." So is it like something you can probably do with that if it's a dream sequence? Oh. Oh, okay. Taco Cabana. Oh, so essentially the bite like mutates him. Something I think you could probably do is instead of just an immediate time skip, you can probably have him your protagonist go through multiple dream sequences that will slowly allude to the eventually like him being bitten and mutating. So essentially it's like you start out with the first dream and it has like one small allusion to what will eventually happen later on. And like the dreams can become more vivid as time goes on. Hell, it could even be like a repeating dream that actually slowly becomes more and more detailed as your protagonist goes to sleep. And it's like, it essentially will... So is he losing his sanity? I mean, that is something you could potentially add in if you wanted it to be incorporated as part of it, but if you wanted the eventual result to be that he essentially gets bitten and transformed into like some kind of mutant-like creature, you can kind of allude to it with dream sequences. But the character losing their sanity is something that is completely optional. You could have them become paranoid maybe, but you don't actually have to have them lose their sanity. It's more of an optional thing. I hope that little like opinion detail actually helps your story writing if you want to use it. I was crying my eyes out back then, demanding to take me to the promised amusement park. That was the first time when Mom and Dad had a big fight. My greediness shattered their relationship. If only I could fix everything. Gather everybody I love and take them to Disneyland.
В ночь, когда пропал Вова, я, кажется, видел, как кто-то похожий на тебя плясал под моим окном.
On the night Volva had disappeared, I think I saw someone looking like you dancing under my window. It couldn't be true, but I felt like her mask became even more sly. The fox was sniffing me out. Oh yeah, there will be 5 endings. The good ending, the ending, it all ending, the bad ending, the worst ending, the bad ending. Oh, okay. Is it gonna be kind of like a choose your own adventure kind of thing for your storytelling? Or is it gonna be like it's gonna be different scraped up pages in different books? Oh, okay, so essentially you have a book per ending and it's going to vary in detail based on the ending that you pick up. That actually seems pretty neat. I remember a while ago I actually did a similar kind of storytelling thing, but I actually gave the reader options for how they wanted to progress with the story. I didn't finish it though, but it was a little neat. One weird page of each ending. No, honestly, I feel like you could definitely roll with it. And like it seems like a very neat idea, and I feel like you can do a lot with it. Like there's a lot of potential for this story. You just have to really sit down and just try and write down how you would do it. The fox was sniffing me out.
А что? Ты тогда испугался?
Oh, that got you worried.
За себя или кого-то еще?
For yourself? Or for someone else? Oh, yeah. As soon as I thought about my sister, my chest tightened. The cold sweat streamed down my spine.
Ну так слушай меня внимательно, мальчик по имени Антон.
Well then, listen closely, a boy named Anton.
Это большой и страшный лес.
This is a big and scary forest. The fox girl stepped forward menacingly.
И я не единственный его обитатель.
And I'm not its only tenant.
Другие звери уже знают о тебе.
The other beasts already know about you.
Берегись нас. Этой ночью мы опять придем.
Beware, we'll come again tonight. I shouldn't have talked to this evil in child form, I thought, panicking.
Пока ты со своей семьей будешь спать, подкрадемся близко-близко и станцуем.
When you and your parents will be fast asleep, we'll sneak really close and dance.
Макарену!
Macarena.
Чё?
Huh?
Эй, Макарена!
Aye. Anton just looked like he just did not know what was happening. Look at you, your mouth agape. А что ска?
Видел он меня ночью у своего окна? Ага, как же!
He saw me near his window at night. You're right.
Ты случаем не местный дурачок, нет?
Are you, by any chance, a dimwit? FNAF 134 Springtrap has turned into bread. Bread.
Меня не отпускают гулять так поздно.
Nobody will let me go out that late.
Здесь, знаешь ли, дети пропадают.
Children go missing here, you know. I touched the plastic frame of my glasses, puzzled by her silly joke. She got me scared to death.
Ой, да не тереби ты окуляры свои.
Hey, why don't you stop fondling your
Я
glasses?
раньше тоже близорукой была.
I was also nearsighted once.
Лучше послушай меня. Может быть, ума наберешься.
Listen to me and maybe you'll become smarter.
Лисичку как обычно называют?
Remember what they call foxes?
Плутовка?
Cunning? My words seemed to hurt her.
Ох ты ж! Да как ты меня?
Hey, what did you...
Ой, прости.
Sorry. Her laughter was akin to the jingle of a pair of silver
Да
bells.
шучу я!
Just pulling your leg.
Конечно, плутовкой.
Of course we're cunning.
Если ты ловкий и смелый, не боишься с плутовкой водиться, я, так и быть, помогу разыскать этого Вову.
If you're agile and brave enough to befriend a cunning fox, I'll help you look for your vulva.
Ты же неспроста его ищешь, да?
There is a reason you're doing it, right? I shrugged in reply. Her insight was alarming.
Знаю, почему дети повадились соваться в наш лес.
I know why children have been swarming our forest
Порой
recently.
там можно найти много всякого интересного.
Sometimes you can find a lot of interesting stuff there.
Я вот однажды нашла целый сугроб конфет и купалась в нем. Да так что челюсть слиплась.
One day I saw a huge pile of candy once, and I swam in it until my jaws cramped. Pile of candy. I couldn't deduce whether she believed in what she was saying from the tone of her voice. I showed her another smile, a fake one this time.
Посмотрите-ка, какой недоверчивый.
Ooh, so wary.
Ну-ну, а что ты на это скажешь?
Well, what will you say to this then? She held out her hand in a furry mitten. There was an assortment of sweets in her palm. In the city where I used to live, Sweets like these were sold at markets or in kiosks. I saw my favorite bubblegum in a vivid wrapper among the tasty treasure. Familiar name on it was Turbo. A triangular fox face poked her nose towards me.
Угощайся.
Take some.
У меня их полные карманы.
My pockets are full of these. You know what? I will take it. I will take the candy. I accepted the treat and catching a whiff of the girl smell. Fur, fireworks, and citrus. The smell of holidays. You look tired? What do you mean? My fingers tingled while I was carefully unwrapping the gum. I'm not tired. I took a nap before I started stream. Peachy aroma entered my nostrils, and something else. Something unfamiliar, but pleasant. The fruity cube ended up in my mouth. I started moving my molars, chewing the gum. It tasted like your usual Turkish gum, only my tongue went a bit numb. I couldn't believe my luck after opening the insert. Mercedes-Benz. I looked at Mercedes-Benz, an extremely rare and hence desirable collector's item for any boy from my previous neighborhood. My heart skipped a beat. I was barely able to tear my eyes off the insert, still stunned.
Это же... Это...
This is...
Теперь понял, что можно найти в лесу.
Now do you see what can be found in the forest?
Только на твоем месте я бы туда в одиночку не ходила.
Still, I wouldn't go there alone if I were you.
Тебе вон от жвачки в забу дыханье сперла.
You get so flustered over simple bubblegum after all.
А представляешь, что с тобой будет, если найдешь чемодан таких фантиков?
Imagine what would happen if you find a travel case worth of these.
Голову напрочь снесет. И пиши пропало.
It'll surely blow your mind. Unusual treats. Just like everything else about her. I carefully hid the insert in my bag, as if I was putting a rare butterfly in a can. The fox giggled. This is not how things are supposed to go on a Monday morning. Who are you? I refrained from asking that question. She wouldn't answer anyway. Or she'll just lie. I really wanted to see what's behind her mask. I was becoming more and more sure that underneath it wasn't just a simple young girl.
Может, Вова тоже нашел сугроб сладостей и теперь кувыркается в нем?
What if Vova also found a snow pile with sweets and is now rolling in it?
Слушай, вдруг он решил остаться в лесу?
Actually, what if he decided to stay in the forest?
Тогда, наверное, ему очень холодно в одной варежке.
He must be so cold without his second mitten then. The wind caught her words like smoke from a fire and carried them deep into the darkness, into the creepy thicket. The trees behind me creaked with their bony branches.
Или с ним что-то случилось в пути.
Or what if something happened to him along the way?
Что-то страшное.
Something terrible. The forest reacted to her words, became alive. It sniffed me out, perking up its ears just like a curious beast. The fox girl pierced me with her eyes again.
Дикие звери?
Wild beasts.
Это, по-твоему, страшно?
You find that scary?
Ну, не знаю.
Well, I don't know.
Не знает.
He doesn't know.
Уж не с двоечником ли я подружилась?
Oh my. Have I befriended a dunce? I didn't like being called a dunce, yet being friends with her sounded nice.
Я хорошист.
My grades are good.
Бел да пушист.
Really now. I wish for being forgotten. My dreams are me being in a house watching TV and chilling, or me in a pool disappointed in the lifeguard, or someone trying to... 69. Noise. Really now.
Пойдешь со мной? Хорошист Антон.
Will you come with me? Good grades, Anton. Like, no joke. Oh, okay.
Найдем твоего Вову и сам его
You
спросишь,
sure you're just...
что он нашел в этих
Sure.
кошках.
We'll find your vulva, and you'll be able to ask him what he found deep in the forest.
Ведь пока мы вместе, никто тебя в лесу не тронет.
As long as you're with me, nothing can hurt you in the
Вот
forest.
увидишь.
You'll see. Worms of worry withered in my belly. Better run, whispered my
Я
mind.
тебе не верю.
I don't believe you.
Ты думаешь, я врунья?
Do you take me for a liar?
Ты, пожалуйста, мне никогда никто не верит.
Whatever, you're just like everybody else. The girl sounded hurt, although I didn't know if she was genuine about it. She turned around, as if she had immediately lost all interest in me. The gum felt bitter now. I remembered my dad's favorite saying, "Where are your manners, son?" Indeed, this fox was kind to
Не
me.
обижайся, пожалуйста.
Please don't get mad.
Лисы бывают и добрыми.
Foxes can also be nice,
Ну, как в сказках.
like in fairy
Мне бы
tales.
только понять, что ты за лиса.
I just need to know what kind of fox you are. The girl giggled, hiding the nose of her mask in her hands.
Тогда пойдем со мной в лес, и ты все обо мне узнаешь.
Then follow me into the forest and you'll get to know me.
Но не сейчас, а когда рассветет. А то тебя, бедного, всего аж потряхивает.
But not right now. When it gets bright, I mean, your whole body is shaking. You poor thing.
Того и гляди, кондрашка хватит.
I don't want you to get a stroke.
Ай да, провожу тебя до школы.
Hey, let me accompany you to school. After hearing this, the dog barked in agreement and stopped messing with the mitten. I leaned in, trying to grab the piece of handwear that almost ran away from me.
Ну, если тебе по пути,
Well, if we're going in the same direction. We went toward the school and the lost dawn. Here and there, the lights came on in the windows of houses we passed, as if their inhabitants were sending us warning signs. Silhouettes lurked behind curtains, dogs let out occasional barks. Spirals of gray smoke rose from chimneys, TVs bustled and dishes clanged in kitchens. We watched the village slowly rise from its slumber while carefully treading the snowy wheel trails. I walked in the left one and she took the right one. The dog was following right behind us. I expected the fox to bring up something weird again, but she stayed silent all the way to the school, as if playing with me was some game only she had the privilege to. She would only giggle from time to time when the dog sneezed from the snowflakes that fell on its nose. I was the first to break the
так
silence.
как тебя зовут?
So what's your name?
А, ну конечно.
Here it comes.
Имена, имена, имена.
Names, names, names.
Людям непременно надо вешать ярлыки на все подряд.
You people always need to put labels on everything.
Ну и как бы ты назвал такую лису, как я?
What name would you give to a fox like me?
Даже не знаю.
I don't know,
Но я читал про лису по имени Алиса.
but I've read about Alisa the fox.
А что?
You know what?
Я не против.
I don't mind.
Пусть будет Алиса.
I'll be Alisa. I couldn't understand if she was joking or not. I turned around as if looking for an answer from the dog from the dark sky devoid of dawn. My silent questions were left unanswered. The school's outline was already in our sight. A giant brick box stuck in an endless night. Lights in its windows didn't bode well for me. The warden trees were guarding the schoolyard. Screams, childish laughter, and someone's whistling tore up the silence. I went here with Mom when we were just moved in, and this place looked cozy at the time. Empty corridors that smelled of polish, puffy snow outside. The second time I came along to get the books and just kept imagining my peers. Rolling down the railings, grade schoolers, running into the library and teachers, marching down the corridor with the air of self-importance around them. High schoolers were smoking at the entrance, in track pants and wool caps, perched to their foreheads. Oh, come on. Press the wrong button. Their appearance destroyed the last hopes for a cozy school. Their stinging eyes and the teeth yellow from nicotine, their smirks, all of it had the same gloomy effect as the cloudy winter morning. Absorbed by my thoughts, I completely forgot about my companion.
После уроков жду тебя на заднем дворе,
I'll wait for you at the backyard after school,
возле повешенного.
near the hanged man.
Возле кого?
Near what? She just ignored my question.
Не опаздывай.
Don't be late. I hesitated. Blowing hot and cold again. Mom always said that when I would have trouble choosing between two options. Thinking about Mom helped me
Я
reply.
после школы сразу домой.
I'm going straight home after school.
Эх, Антоша, Антоша, это я тебя так просто отпустила.
Well, Antosha, I'm going to let you off the hook.
Другие же незаметно подкрадутся со своими улыбочками и вцепятся. Клещами не оторвешь.
But the others will creep up to you with their smiles and sink their teeth into you. Won't be able to shake them off as easily.
Попомни мои слова.
Remember my words. The fox opened her mouth in a wide yawn. What kind of trick is this?
Антоха!
Someone running in the distance called out my name. I instinctively turned around. A huge snowball whizzed past my shoulder and hit the dog. It whimpered and ran toward the spring. Darkness devoured it. The fox girl was also nowhere to be seen. She dissolved into frosty air. Or was she hiding in my shadow? I gulped and swallowed the gum. Unlucky. After taking a deep breath, I went toward the school, toward the collet of dough, toward the light raining down onto the snow. I could hear muffled voices behind the doors, saw blinking lamps. Darkness creeped along the windows, and it felt like the school was drifting in open space like a lonely lost spaceship. After going up to the second floor, I noticed a crowd around the notice board. Everyone was taking part in lively discussion. I moved closer and took a look at something everyone was interested in through a wall of backpacks. There was a piece of paper with something printed on it, glued to the left of the notice board. Attention, child missing. They're 10 years old, grade 4B. I left us home on January the 5th, around 16 o'clock. Child missing. This was his name, fourth grader. On the grainy print, Vova looked dead, with a black mouth and dark, empty eye sockets. Could it be that the darkness dwelling deep in the forest invaded his pores and mutated his face? A plastic toy gun can protect him from the whispering branches and the howling wind. Empty eyes of the lost boy pierced through my soul as if pleading. Unable to meet his stare, I turned around and rushed to the window, took a seat on the windowsill. The corridor was slowly filling up with children, in groups of few. Nobody paid me any mind. In the darkness of school toilets, children's voices were hammering a nursery rhyme.
Для медведя, для лисы, зайчик кушать принеси.
For the fox and the bear, bunny, tasty meals prepare. I turned my head toward them, trying to get a better look at their features. But then my attention was stolen by a loud clicking sound. A female teacher marked down the corridor with her chin raised up high. Her heels were hitting the floor like miniature hooves. A girl was trailing her every step. She was also looking pompous, stopping along the way and whispering some secret to her friend's ears. She was probably a class rep, since she was carrying an attendance register book.
Екатерина, возьми, пожалуйста.
Ekaterina, take this, please. The teacher opened the classroom door, and a crowd of children swarmed in, screaming and pushing. Out of all of them, a tall, redhead, fat boy caught my attention. His face was full of blisters. He looked like the insides of a pomegranate. I had a bad feeling risen up the hair on the back of my head. I've seen boys like him before. Unsettled eyes, cackling laughter. The girl, who was a smaller copy of the teacher, warned the boy with a wave of her hand and entered the room through the clearing in the crowd. Some other guys stood in the way of the crowd, and the redhead immediately shoved him.
Топай резче, мудила!
Move your legs, moron. The boy flew head first, flailing his hands trying to keep his balance. The fatso burst out laughing, and a couple of kids joined his nastily cackling. Their laughter sounded like someone was snipping with huge garden scissors. The classroom sucked all of the kids in. The corridor stood empty. I wanted to grow roots and stay on the windowsill. Just a handful of lampposts outside were battling the darkness, breathing like fluorescent fish in the black ocean. Maybe I can still run away. Go outside, dissolve in the dark. I imagined myself running through the snow, how it squeaks under my boots, and how I'm becoming lighter and lighter with every step. The ringer's thrill blew that illusion away. I tore myself from the window with great effort, and took a couple of deep breaths, trying to at least calm down my mad pulse, and entered the classroom. The prim teacher looked at me over the frame of her glasses, clearly annoyed.
Я новенький.
I'm the transfer student.
Мне вот сказали к вам подойти.
I was told to come here. The snowy forest trail was winding in front of my eyes. The pines rustled, but it didn't sound predatory anymore. She buried herself in the register and flicked through the pages.
А фамилия-то как?
Your last name.
Петров.
Громче говори.
Huh? What are you mumbling there?
Чего мямлишь?
Say it clearly.
Петров.
Нет такого.
You're not on the list. She measured me with a long and heavy stare, as if trying to see if I was lying. I wanted to sink through the floor. Hazy faces observed all of that from the left. The classroom breathed and snorted in unison, like a living organism, like a dangerous beast.
Ты не ошибся?
Are you sure?
Нет такого в списке.
I don't have you in my register. My knees chose the worst time to start shaking, and I felt dizzy. I clutched my fists so hard my knuckles became white.
Мне сказали, 204 кабинет, Лилия Павловна, 6 В.
They told me to come to the classroom 204 to ask for Lilia Palvo, class 6C. I hear. Welcome to the stream. We're still doing Tiny Bunny. So it took about, I would say, like the first 45 minutes of stream were devoted to Deepest Sword, and then the rest of it has been Tiny Bunny, Chapter 2. Apparently everyone in the classroom took my words from some sort of joke, because they were all laughing.
Что за бардак?
What's wrong with this school? The classroom fell silent. The kids hid their smirks for a better occasion.
Понаберут студентов.
Why do we hire so many interns?
Только знают, что губяки свои малевать. А я разгребай, значит.
They all know how to put lipstick all over their bulging lips, and when it comes to real problems, I have to solve everything.
А бумаги-то кто заполнять будет? Не первый раз ведь уже.
How did they send you here without any proper paperwork? Ugh. We've had the same thing happen so many times already.
Подожди здесь. Сейчас.
Wait here. I'll be back.
Сейчас я им устрою.
After I have a little chat with them. The teacher flew past me, mumbling something to herself in righteous anger, and I was left standing at the center of the classroom. Like a convict in front of a firing squad, I lowered my gaze, feeling the mocking stares from all around the classroom directed at me. They pricked my skin, dancing on it like laser sights. Once again, I imagined running far away from this place, fighting the clawing wind, soaring high above the pines in one long jump, with the wind in my back as my only companion. The eyes of my future classmates were asking, this new boy, Is he one of us or an outsider? Somebody whispered something, and stifled laughter rolled across the classroom.
Доску вытри!
Wipe the board. It was easy to guess who was the main prankster
Эй,
here.
очкарик!
Hey, Four Eyes.
Ты чё, не только слепой, но еще и глухой?
Are you not only blind, but also deaf?
Доску вытри, говорю!
I said wipe the board. My knees weren't the only shaking part of my body anymore. I was trembling from head to toe, and I prayed for the teacher to come back sooner. My prayers were answered by the powers that be.
Ну что мне с тобой делать-то?
And what should I do with you now?
Куда сажать, а?
Where will you sit?
Давай-ка сядь, наверное, с Семеном.
Oh well, you can sit with Simon, I guess.
Он все равно один.
He's alone anyway.
Еще чего?
No way. The fatso put his backpack on the seat beside him in defiance, scratched his belly and smirked.
Ты опять за старое?
Are you back to your old tricks?
Снова бабушку в школу вызывать?
Should I call your grandma here again? The classroom went silent.
А чё она мне сделает?
And what's she gonna do?
Не она, так я тебе сделаю.
I'll be the one to do something if she doesn't.
Рюкзак убрал быстро.
Put away your backpack now. Simon didn't move a muscle. What language is this? So the dubbing is done in Russian, I'm pretty sure? I can't change the language of the dub, but I can change the language of the reading stuff. Because I had streamed Tiny Bunny Prologue back in January, and someone in the chat had basically went, "Oh, there should be like a dub over it," and there wasn't because it was a demo. But essentially, like, the demo was like the first chapter of this. But yeah, that's what it should be, to my knowledge. He started studying the portraits of writers on the wall, looking bored. I needed to do something to resolve this somehow, to save myself. I cleared my throat and continued in a stifled voice that sounded nothing like me.
Я могу за последнюю парту сесть.
I can sit in the last row.
Там, кажется, свободно.
I think there's a free seat. The teacher snorted loudly. She looked at me, then at Simon, then back at me.
Ладно. Садись пока туда.
Fine, go there for now.
А с тобой, Бабурин, мы еще поговорим.
And you, Baburin, I'll have a talk with you later.
Чтобы подошел после уроков.
Come with me after classes.
Будешь по классу дежурить, ясно?
You'll be on cleaning duty. Got it? Simon forced a twisted smile. Juicy pimples were growing on the tip of his nose, ripe for the taking. I walked carefully, afraid to stumble and fall, causing another outburst of laughter from everyone. I took my seat at the back, at the last table, where I met with a pile of old posters. Oh, so that specifically, Automod essentially tagged the last word of that. I will allow it. Because I had to read the whole thing for a second. The outcasts took their seats and the class was ready to start.
Вот и хорошо. Начнем урок.
Now this is settled. Let's start the class.
Тема. Традиции русской и мировой литературы в рассказе Зощенко
Well, I mean,
«Не
this
надо
is...
врать».
The people of Russia don't want it, and Ukraine doesn't want it. It's purely political leaders at fault. Like, no one is on the Russian government's side for that situation. Like, I don't blame the people. I mean, luckily, they're essentially losing, so I don't... Also, we're not here for politics. Oh, I'm aware that thousands have been arrested for anti-war protests. It's actually absurd. You know what? Why not? We'll do whatever. Honestly, like, I have family in a tower in El Paso, Masalcho. honestly, like the entire situation, like I remember kind of like doom scrolling on Twitter when that information came out, and it's just like I was just really hoping that people were able to flee, who were able to flee. For those that were bunkering down, were able to defend themselves and try to stay as safe as possible. Like, because it's not okay in any like sense of the matter. But like from what I've seen, apparently Putin had thought like he was going to be able to take Ukraine in like a few hours, and it's like I'm so happy that Ukraine is absolutely holding its all against Russia. I mean, with the Russian soldiers, a lot of them don't know why they're in Ukraine. If they desert, they could be killed. So a lot of them don't really have a choice to get out of it. They don't want to be there. It's purely just the political leaders that want it. And it's just like, it's not okay. I mean, like, there's a few things that have occurred that I'm pretty sure would be considered as war crimes. Um, like I had heard that apparently, like, a ton of like kindergarten children, like aged children, were taken out for no reason, essentially. And it's just like it's so disheartening. Like it should have never happened. It really should have never happened. I mean, like, I know that Germany began production of weaponry again in order to support Ukraine. I think it was Sweden. Stopped neutral opinions of countries and have like essentially halted any Russian currency transaction and like essentially it's like everyone is on Ukraine's side. Basically everyone is on Ukraine's side except for Putin and other political leaders. Sweden and Switzerland are helping, which is good. I kind of wish the US would do something as well because these other countries that are helping are also a part of NATO, however you say it. And it's just like, you know, I know that like other surrounding countries are having citizens essentially create like I think like a foreign like volunteer force in order to help fight. I like the fact that I'm blanking on the president of Ukraine's name, but he's actually fighting alongside his people. You have I heard that apparently like there's like people like out there training Zelensky. Yes, he's honestly like I don't idolize politicians or anything, but I absolutely find that admirable that he's doing this. I don't like the fact that the U.S. essentially offered to have him escape because like he's essentially would be like a high target. But like I think he said something along the lines of like I don't need a ride, I need ammunition, and like that's actually badass. But I do wish the U.S. would actually step in a little bit. I saw that Chad. Honestly, I absolutely agree. Big Chad moment. I loved that. Like, oh man. Ugh. Oh, another thing is that people are making edits. Uh, that basically have like Putin in drag because apparently they're illegal. So people keep making like images of that and trying to spread it. Because like, like apparently that's illegal in Russia. So people are just doing that and spreading it. What else? But yeah, no, it's just like so much has happened within the past few days. Oh, I remember when that was a big thing. Yeah, it was like 2 days ago. I want to say it was like much bigger. There was a famous image of Putin in rainbow. Good, and it's illegal in Russia. Mm. That was a big thing about. Oh, okay. I didn't know about it. Then I'm just not informed about it. Okay, let me just. There we go. So many kids in my school think I'm bi. I mean, are you? If you are, it's like it, and your family is okay with it, then there's not much of an issue. If you're not, then it's a different story. Okay. Is it like, I mean, if it's a rumor like thing, you kind of just have to like set the record straight, because it's like if they're doing this as like a teasing thing. I have a Mexican mom, I would be in life support by now. I mean, each family differs in like a support. I know that like it was a bit different for me as well. I mean, like, also like with dating in general, like there's no rush for it. Trust me when I say that there's no rush for dating stuff, especially if you're younger. Important to be ready for it. Exactly. It's important to be ready for it, not rush it. Learn what could potentially be red flags and warning signs of bad partners. And then like, you know, like there's no rush for it. Like you have a lot of time. And also you have like, you know, you have time to figure it out. Like there's absolutely no rush. I could understand like if you were older, like maybe like late teens or like in your 20s and being like, oh, I want to date or like start dating. Like I can understand that, but if you're like much younger, like early, like real early teens, not even a teenager yet, there's no rush for it. Like don't worry about it. Well, even if you're younger than that, like no rush. You know, just like keep being a kid, you know? Like before you know it, a lot of your free time and the times of just being a kid are going to be gone. So, honestly, savor it while it lasts. It may not seem like it may seem like it's currently really long, but trust me, time is going to fly before you know it. And it's going to feel like you blinked and you missed it. Just be a kid, you know? Like there's nothing wrong with it. Alright, I will continue reading the visual novel. Alright. Today's theme is traditions of Russian and international literature of Zosh. I don't know how to say that name. Don't lie. The Fatso turned back to me. His stare informed me of the coming days, weeks and months of bullying. I've got my eyes on you, he said his watery look. After just a couple of periods, I had already noticed a huge yellow spit stain on my notebook. Then at the cafeteria, the Simon accidentally spilled a glass of compote on me. What is that? A dessert drink brewed from a mix of dry fruit and berries. Alright. And then he flailed his hands around after exiting the toilet, so some of the liquid from his hands would get on me. Just before the final period for today, Simon pushed me into a buzzing crowd of girls from our class. They made way, cursing, but I couldn't hold my balance and ended up ramming my face into a girl I took for the class rep before, right in her chest. Ow! I immediately stepped back, dying from
Прости,
embarrassment.
ты в порядке?
I'm sorry, are you alright?
Я...
I... Then she suddenly put her hands on her hips.
Нет, ну вы посмотрите на него.
Will you look at him?
Облапал меня прямо у всех на глазах.
Groping me in front of
Я
everyone.
сейчас
I'll
всем
tell my
маме
mom.
расскажу. Тебя из школы
I'll
выгонят,
expel you,
извращенец.
pervert. There was some sort of sadistic pleasure in her eyes, as if she was a child who was about to put a lit-up match to the Cheffer beetle.
Я нечаянно. Меня толкнули.
I didn't mean to, he pushed me.
Все видели. Слепых среди нас нет.
We all saw you, you know. No blind among us. Sussy Baka? Among us? She stared at my glasses while showing me a creepy smile. Among us. I started to fume on the inside, but Simon's laughter cooled my head.
Толкнули? Чё, правда?
I pushed you. You sure? He swaggered up to me, enveloping me in the smell of sunflower seeds and rotting teeth, and then pushed me to the ground.
Вот так, да? И чё ты сделаешь?
When the imposter is sus. Like this, huh? What you gonna do now? The bully towered over me, as if saying, "Come on, hit me. Let me see you try." Oh, do we want to fight back or do we want to endure? Like, let me also save. I'm letting you guys choose. Do we want to fight back or do we want to endure the bullying a little bit? What do people want to do? What the imposter is sauce. Jesus said to turn the other cheek. Alright. Oh, jeez. Alright, so we will endure. Oh, we got. Alright, I'm gonna do a coin flip. Heads will be fight back, tails will be endure. Alright. Because we got a 50-50 split right there. Unless someone else who is currently watching wants to choose one and break the tie. Yeah, I'll flip a coin. Heads will be to fight back, tails will be to endure. Okay, Google. Flip a coin.
You got tails.
Alright, we're enduring it. We're turning the other cheek. What does endure mean? I'm pretty sure that it's just like not fighting back, kind of keeping it in and holding out. When fighting back, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. Don't use that term, man. Ignorance is not an excuse to say that any kind of, like, not knowing something does not mean that you're idiotic in any way. Well, mainly because, so that term has been used against, but I mean, like, at one point it was normalized, and then it was actually used against, individuals with autism. Oh, I mean, it's actually, so essentially you don't want to do self-deprecating humor or self-deprecation because it actually is a form of mental self-harm. I advise strongly against it. So please don't self-deprecate. There are other ways to get through whatever it is you're going through, you know? But to endure is kind of like to continue. So endure is kind of to like pull through it. You're kind of like, you could be like suffering something painful and difficult slowly and patiently until it's over. So essentially it's like not actively like taking revenge to whatever action you're going against, if it's something like the bullying, or it would be if you're going through some kind of like sadness, it would be going through the motions of it over time. I think that's the best way I could describe it for you. I breathed in loudly, stood up, massaging my temples. Seaman made a mocking face, as if asking me wordlessly, "And what are you going to do about it?" I looked at his red fist that seemed so big to me at the moment, and I realized if I said even a single word, I'd get hit. And he'll keep on hitting me until I cry, or maybe even that won't stop him, and nobody was going to help me.
Простите,
Sorry.
я споткнулся.
I tripped. What a pathetic squeak. If you could actually burn up from shame, I would have been reduced to cinders by now.
Ходить нормально научись,
Learn how to walk.
слепошара.
Blind rat. I lowered my eyes and squeezed past Seaman. He showered me with the smell of decayed teeth.
Пока-пока, терпела.
Bye-bye, sucker. The fatso let out a loud snort behind my back. My muscles became wooden, and I felt him wiping his hand on my back. I continued walking, listening to demeaning smirks from all the sides. It was even worse than I expected. I was late to leave the school after classes on purpose. Seaman didn't attend the last period, so I was hopeful. What if he decided to dodge the cleaning duty and ran home, forgetting all about me? This was a relief. I didn't want to meet him in the empty hallway. The smirks of my classmates stood before my eyes like overturned horseshoes. My class had a lot of fun at my expense, but those who missed the show were asking the others to describe my bullying in full detail. I should have just transferred into a school for freaks. I'd be less conspicuous among hunchbacks, lame-legged and disfigured. While the other students were leaving the school, laughing loudly, I was pretending to skim through my books near a window. I was staring outside, nervous. Simon was nowhere to be found in the front yard or near the school gate. I didn't really believe I was this lucky, so I decided to be extra cautious and stayed for some more time in that corridor that was gradually getting less crowded. This game's sad as hell. I mean, like, I can imagine, like just based on the fact, like, our protagonist is getting bullied, his sister is, like, his one comfort individual. He doesn't really have any friends. They'll watch, like, their same, like, I'm assuming Disney tapes on repeat without much other variety. The parents argue and fight, and it's just, like, it seems like not the best situation. There are better ones out there, but this is the one of our protagonists. All of the bustle moved to the first floor. There was a skeleton peeking out the biology classroom. Some jokester put a cap on the American condor on its head. The sound of running water were coming from the bathroom. I was the only person left in the whole school. I'm not alone, a sudden thought came to mind. I remembered the missing boy, his portrait on the notice board near the schedule. I remembered his smile, looking at me, and the fact that he's most likely already dead. Hello? I shuddered and turned around. At first, my eye stumbled upon the black violin case. Then I noticed a girl from my class was holding it. She sat in the first row of the second column. I could swear I caught her looking at me a couple of times. And I was sneaking glances at her myself. Sometimes it just felt nice to look at something pretty. The spring. The sky, or a girl that's not in the crowd that laughs at Simon's jokes. And she wasn't whispering the dirty whispering the dirty laundry of other people to Katya. She spent all the breaks just like me, staying in the classroom or looking in the window or drawing something in her green notebook.
Здравствуй.
Hello. I turned red and pretended I was studying the pattern on the wooden floor.
Я видела, как Бабурин тебя толкнул.
I saw Babudin push you.
В порядке?
Are you alright? The bump on my head hurt, but it wasn't all. It wasn't all that much
В
uncomfortable.
порядке.
I'm fine.
Пустяк.
It's nothing.
Ага, пустяк.
It's definitely not nothing.
Этот придурок в последнее время совсем распоясался.
That idiot can't control himself at all lately.
Врезал бы ты ему.
You should have punched him back,
Угу.
I mumbled in reply.
Вроде Семен раньше таким не был.
Simon wasn't like that before.
Он к нам недавно перевелся.
He also transferred here just recently.
Бабушка мне его по секрету сказала, что он словно взбесился.
His grandma told me that it almost felt like he went mad. I started shoving books in my backpack to at least put something in my hands. The girl looked at me with her clear, attentive eyes.
А ты за рекой живешь?
Do you live over the river?
В том деревянном доме?
In that wooden house?
Ну да.
Yeah.
Там, наверное, страшно.
Must be scary living there.
Да еще через лес идти.
And you also have to cross the forest.
Я бы так не смогла.
I wouldn't be able to do that. I shivered at the mention of the forest. I thought of interwinding branches of snake-like trail, of endless darkness that spread like mold among the crooked trees. So I sat up and lied.
Да не так уж там и страшно.
It's not that scary.
А что тебя так пугает?
What's so scary about it to you? She smiled after a brief pause, as if brushing off a daydream.
Да так. Ничего.
Well, actually, never mind.
Меня, кстати, Полина зовут.
My name is Paulina, by the way,
А меня Антон.
and I'm Anton.
Ну, это я знаю.
I already know that.
Ой, мне на музыку пора.
Oh, I have to go to music class. She made a couple of steps and stopped. Amazing. Paulina didn't look like those beauties from the magazine posters or the actresses from the movies. But the flickering light of the ceiling lamps, she looked much more alluring.
А ты играешь на чем-нибудь?
Can you play anything? My parents bought me a guitar a couple years ago. I immediately remembered my meager attempts at making music. Change. We're all waiting for change. Itsui's song echoed my thoughts and my desire to change something. A singer and a frontman of a popular Soviet rock band, Kino, that played a mix of new wave and post-punk. Their hit song, Primen, Changes, is one of the most popular rock tracks of the new Russian era. Died in a car accident. Oh, that's unfortunate. The guitar got lost somewhere, as if refusing to move to the old house near the forest. I think my parents gave it away to someone that needed it more.
Увы, не играю.
I don't, sadly.
Жалко.
A pity.
Ну ладно, я побежала.
Oh well, I'll be going.
Пока!
Bye. Your shout was captured by the loud echo. Your shoes also echoed through the school
Пока.
hallways. Bye. I wasn't sure if Paulina heard me. I looked out the window again. Oh, I'm sorry. Simon would say while shoving me off the staircase in a way that could break my neck. Or, oops, didn't mean that, after spilling kumquat on me in the cafeteria. I know someone that hadn't heard. Jeez. And it kept happening every day. I couldn't relax for a moment because of this string of coincidences. And to my horror, I realized it was only going to get worse, and I couldn't do anything about it. I always walked looking down at school and counted down minutes until the classes ended. Only in rare moments, when I caught Paulina's look on me, I choked from embarrassment and was ready to fight. But as if to mock me, nothing happened. And then my rage subsided and everything returned to normal. I always went home alone. First, I slipped through the village, and then over the bridge across the river, and then finally through the forest. The road slithered between the trees for around 10 minutes. There were no passerby, only cars slowly crawled past me, as if afraid to sink in snow. I tried walking as fast as possible because branches, wet from snow, and black trunks created an illusion of something wandering in the forest. Somebody tall, sneaky, who can turn into a tree or a snow pile, and then, when nobody's looking at them, continue their journey along the road.
Ну, здорово, Антошка.
Yo, Antoshka. My heart nearly stopped. From the darkness behind the pines, just like cavemen from their cave, appearing smirking seaman with a bunch of his cronies.
Опачки, какая встреча!
And who do we have here?
Очкарик в жопе шарик на.
Check out this four-eyed freak, eh? They surrounded me like a carnivorous pride, making me step back. The smell of sweat and tobacco attacking my nostrils. The inside of my mouth felt salty, as if I'd licked a battery.
Глядите на этого сопляка, пацаны.
Look at this sucker,
В
guys.
школе так споткнулся, что паркет помял.
He tripped so hard at school that he broke the
А
floor.
ремонтировать кто будет?
Who will repair it now?
Видишься на ремонт, терпила.
Will you pay for it, Wimp?
Не бзди, мы тебя правильно ходить научим.
Don't worry, we'll teach you how to walk right. Simon brought a sizable sagnet ring with some geometric shape carved into it to my face.
Ща, парашник, я тебе этой печаткой так зарежу. Клеймо на всю жизнь останется.
In a moment, I'll hit your face so hard it'll leave a mark for the rest of your life.
Стой!
Stop. A wheezy whisper left my lips, and my head tilted forward. Hitting Simon's fist, red sparks flew from my eyes. They're going to gang up on me and beat me up.
Бяша, подсоби.
Yasha, give me a hand. Simon gave me a rough push toward the bastard with the slanting eyes, and he tripped me. I fell on a sharp crust of ice, and the fatso stepped on my hand, preventing me from getting up. A painful groan escaped my throat.
Слыхали, как заныл?
Did you hear him whimper?
А ты случаем не педик?
Is he actually... or something? I started to lose breath from anger and resistment. The pain was growing. My ear was hot and pulsating pain was shot through it, like it was cut off, and a ball of nettle was sewn in its
Чё
place.
молчишь, Антошка?
Why so silent,
Отвечай,
Antoshka?
ты педик?
Come on, tell us, are you a... At this moment, I felt pure, unbridled rage, the amalgamation of my anger. Like the sprout's ink, it rose up from the depths of my mind, filling my thoughts.
Твари!
Morons,
Знаете, что мой
did you know
отец...
that my
Кто-то
dad
педик.
is also a... Simon burst out laughing. This became the last straw. Fear and anger were grappling inside me like mad
Он
dogs.
айкидо занимался. Поняли?
He knows Aikido, got it?
Он еще воевал.
And he's a vet.
Таких, как вы, с закрытыми глазами убивает.
He'll kill the likes of you with his eyes
Я только
closed.
слово скажу, он...
One word from me and he'll... The boy in the tracksuit raised his hand, stopping the torrent of lies, and made a couple of steps forward. Who taught the first teacher? Themselves, most likely. And then it evolved over time. That's my guess. Or it was a collective effort from like a grouping of people. Simon slowly backed off, giving me an opportunity to stand up. It was a surprise for me. Seems like Baburin wasn't the leader of their gang. In reality, they were all listening to the boy who was looking like a small carnivore with very strong and sharp teeth. Pines were swaying back and forth like Solomon guardians. Did he believe me? Or was he confused by my face, twisted with rage?
Воевал, говоришь?
A vet, you say?
Мой батя тоже воевал.
My dad also fought in the war.
В Афгане.
In Afghan.
А твой?
And yours.
И мой.
Mine too.
Да, и в каких войсках, интересно?
Oh, really? And what force did he serve in? I stumbled. Fear chopped at my rage's throat and made it bleed.
Да он фуфло гонит, Ромка.
He's full of shit, Rumka.
Бля, будуна.
Думал,
Sure as fuck,
меня
man.
так просто развести?
Did you think I'm so easy to trick?
Я тебя, сучонка, насквозь вижу.
I can see through all your lies, little bitch. There was a nasty smile on his face now. It didn't bode well for me.
Ты сам себе приговор подписал.
Well, you've asked for this.
Хана тебе.
You're fucked.
Во-во.
That's right.
Давай, Антошка. Молись, чтобы твой труп по весне нашли мне.
Pray that they find your dead body come spring, eh?
Сидел бы ниже травы, был бы целочкой.
If only you'd stay silent, wouldn't have lost a hair.
Сёма, ушатай-ка его.
Give him a good pounding Sioma. The delinquents closed in on me again, and I ended up in front of Simon. Blood was pumping in my temples. Branches were swaying back and forth, as if whispering something, giving me hope. I gritted my teeth, fighting the thought that I looked silly, and took a boxing stance I often saw in the movies.
Хера ты, Майк Тайсон.
What are you, Mike Tyson? This was my first ever fight. I'll remember it for the rest of my life, if I don't kick the bucket, of course. At the edge of my vision, I noticed the darkness breathe again, as if someone was walking back and forth there. I sensed Roma's claws grab my backpack.
Манатки, Антошка.
Give me your shit and Tosca.
Махаться мешает.
They'll get in the way. I was about to refuse, unwilling to cooperate with this bastard, but then he fished a butterfly knife out of his pocket with one smooth motion, swung it as if showing off, and put the blade to my neck.
Слышь, Фрей, расслабься, а то больно будет.
I let out a cloud of steam instead of words. Rumka pulled with all his might, and my backpack ended in his hands. Calm and relaxed. As an insidious smile on his face, he looked into my
Ты от
backpack.
нас что-то скрываешь, да?
Are you hiding something from us?
У меня в школе какая-то крыса сменку подрезала.
Some rat stole my school shoes.
Опачки!
And what's this? Rumka gave me a dubious smile.
Так, а что это у нас здесь?
So what do we have here? My texts and notebooks fell in the snow. He was holding my backpack in one hand and something weird in the other. It looked like a mask. Roma lifted it high, as if showing to someone else, to someone in the treetops, in a twilight among the trees. An old bunny mask. Long, worn-out ears, barely visible nose and whiskers, mangy fur on the sides. Where did it come from? Who put it there? Simon left.
Новый год уже прошел, мудила.
It's way past New Year's,
Или
moron.
ты реально поехавший?
Or are you really a
Это
loony?
не мое!
It's not mine.
Как не твое,
How
Твоё
come it's
портфеле
not?
лежало на.
It was in your backpack. Rumka was watching the scene unfold with an evil smile on
А
his
знаешь
face.
что?
You know what?
Надевай.
Put it on.
Зачем?
Why?
Надевай, говорю.
Because I'm telling you to.
Попрыгаешь перед нами,
Я-
зайчик.
You'll hop like a bunny for us.
Давай, давай.
Yeah, come
Или
on.
без штанов домой пойдёт на.
Or we'll leave you pantsless, eh? Anything but this. What if someone from our class will pass by? For example, Paulina.
Нет,
No.
Сёма, надень-ка на него.
Sioma, put it on him.
Хе.
Bastia rushed to his friend's side and took the worn-out mask from him with a buffoonish bow. Then he passed it to Simon, who was already rubbing his hands in anticipation. I looked around the pine woods, as if waiting for help, as if the shadows that wreathed around us would take pity on me and take my side. Branches looked like arms, twisted at unusual angles. Blackened bark was their charred skin, and the darkness was the smoke they produced. I can't run, won't get away. They'll catch me. And then,
Влад,
here,
это чтобы маска хорошо
It better fit.
налезла.
It'll fit better this way. He hurled a huge ball of spit on the inside of the plastic bunny face and put it close to me. His spit looked like a squashed spider. Romka's face twisted. He spasmed like a beast, like he wanted to tell Simon something. But then he suddenly stopped. Simon was still close by, with a disgusting smirk on his face, and a terrible smell coming from his mouth.
Надевай, бара!
Put it on fast,
Турою!
or you're dead. The mask almost looked even more disgusting now, yet despite everything, it felt like it was a chance for salvation. It could become my second skin, if only I was to put it on, if only my face was to touch its bumpy surface. I'm sure the fur will glitter, the ears will tremble like they're alive. I just need to put it on, and Simon and his friends will be gone, forever. I reached out. My hand wasn't shaking anymore. Simon handed me the mask and let out an evil laugh. The fur felt warm to the touch, just like I expected. I got goosebumps. Electricity flowed through my spine.
Вот оно,
This is it,
мое спасение.
my salvation. A voice whispered to me from the well of my subconscious, just put it on and nobody will hurt you. The forest froze, gazing at me with cracks in the dark. I acted slowly. I took off my glasses, got rid of the nasty spit on the paper mache. There was movement inside of the bunny face, as if something was trying to break out, and I needed to help it. I lifted up the mask and started moving it toward my flaming cheeks, just like in the movie with Jim Carrey. The mask had power. The mask had strength. Carden touched my skin. It enveloped my skull, my nose, took the shape of my face. It smelled like an animal lair of pine. My lips touched some sort of hard, wavy material, my armor. Strangely enough, through the slits of the old carnival mask, I was able to see as good as through my glasses. A trio of boys frozen in the clearing, snowflakes frozen in the air. The trees whose shadows formed black streams toward me, and a weird silhouette in the early twilight behind the waterfall. In all that silence, Simon nervously whispered,
Пацаны, что это с ним?
"Hey guys, what's up with him?" I broadened my shoulders. My muscles felt like they were made of steel. Invisible plumes of fog flew toward me, breaking off the trees. I was absorbing the forest's power with every pore of my body. I smiled underneath the mask. No, I showed my teeth. My fists were itching. My stomach was growling.
Он превращается!
He's turning. You asked for this. I made a step forward. Simon carefully stepped toward me as if he was walking on thin ice. A trail from my dreams sneaked in front of me again. Endless, alluring, it was beckoning me away from all problems to the new wonderful world, the world of Magic Neverland. I pulled on the zipper, opened my coat, and threw it in the snow with a fast motion. Then growled. Is this a game or— It's a visual novel. I felt like something was frantically looking for an exit underneath my skin. I went towards Simon.
Он превращается!
He's turning.
Твою мать!
Fuck.
Превращается!
Конченого мудака!
Turning into a fucking... The clearing blew up in hysteric laughter. Yaska was clutching his stomach. Roma smirked, shaking his head. And Simon, he was laughing the most out of the three, spat on his knuckles and waved his fist like a club.
Ну и дебил же ты, Тошик!
You're such a moron, Toshka. My fist collided with my mask. The fur didn't dampen the blow at all. There was no power, no magic, smoke coming from the pines. I flew toward the bushes and landed on my butt. My vision, bolstered by adrenaline a moment before, returned to normal.
Вот это был номер!
Now that was something.
Думал, он на четвереньки встанет и сгрызет нас всех,
I thought he'd get on all fours and tear us to
как
bits.
морковку.
like a carrot.
Ха! Не, ну вы видели,
Yo, did you see that, eh?
видели?
Did ya?
Это считается, что он попрыгал.
Does this count as him
Это
hopping?
даже лучше.
This was even better. I sobbed. The mask had one advantage. If I cried now, nobody would see my tears.
Ну и дурик.
What a loony.
Да тебе в психбольнице место.
You belong in a loony house.
Психбольница для животных, на!
For animals, eh? Simon put his knee to the snow pile and ripped the glasses out of my numbed fingers.
Отдай очки.
Give my glasses
Я
back.
домой не дойду.
I won't make it home.
Чё ж,
Bullshit.
знаешь, какой у зайцев нюх?
Haven't you heard that bunnies have a good sense of smell?
По запаху доберешься, не ссы.
So don't worry, just use it.
Прыг-скок, прыг-скок.
Hippity hop, hippity hop. Simon shoved the trophy into his pocket and flashed me a toothy grin.
Кролики очки не носят.
Besides, bunnies don't wear
А
glasses.
теперь вали отсюда, Даун.
Now scram. I stood up, still wobbly. The trees became a blurry, dark wall. 3 bright silhouettes were wobbling around me. There were black spots on them, their eye sockets and mouths, but it looked to me like there was more of them than there should be. I turned to the forest. Simon's boot came to my rescue, kicking me in the butt and quickening my shameful retreat.
Прыг-скок, прыг-скок!
Hippity hop, hippity hop. I threw the mask into a ravine out of spite, and then zigzagged through the fire break, alone in a giant snow-laden world. The trunks around me bent in all directions. Their treetops disappeared into the darkness above me. The sky was pushing me down. I wanted to cry, but my eyes were completely dry now. Only sadness and longing were left, a desire to bury myself under the snow or leave for the Neverland, joining Volva or Sinya. I didn't care where to go, just somewhere far away from here. Somewhere very far away.
Так, я не поняла. Антон, а где очки? Потерял?
Hey, what's this? Where are your glasses, Anton? Did you lose them?
Да, ну, мам,
See, I...
Как можно быть таким рассеянным? Ты думаешь, я деньги печатаю?
How can you be so careless? Do you think I own a money printing press?
Как же? Будешь до следующего года в старых очках ходить.
Yeah, right. You'll be wearing your old glasses until next year. Olya rushed to me.
А я лису видела!
I saw a fox. Surprise akin to a shotgun blast. I could only flap my lips in reply. A cup shattered into many little pieces with a loud bang. My mom let it fall from her hands. Her face was pale, and her eyes were glued to the ground. This pause, just a split second, felt like an eternity. Then my mom spoke with disappointment. First it was an owl, now it's a fox. Will you ever get tired of this?
Правда!
But it's true.
Такая пушистая!
She was so fluffy.
Она у забора стояла на задних лапах, совсем как человек.
She stood on her back legs near the hedge, just like a person.
Она меня позвала, а тут мама вышла, и лиса убежала.
The fox called my name, then Mom came and she fled. There was no fox. Stop making things up.
не подходи к ней.
Don't go near her. If it was necessary, I was ready to shake my sister as if she was a doll made of cloth.
Ты чего, Тоша?
What's wrong, Tosha?
Не подходи, слышишь?
Don't go. You hear me? Mom entered the hallway and gave me a surprised look. I hesitated.
Ну, лиса ведь укусить может.
Well, a fox will bite you. I remembered fairy tales where foxes used to kidnap children. I imagined Alyssa, liberated, carnivorous, running through the night forest with a dangling sack in her hands.
Это ж была не настоящая лиса.
It wasn't a real fox.
Расскажи ему, Оль.
Tell him, Olya.
Она на 2 ногах ходила, а еще была в платье одета.
She stood on 2 legs and she wore a dress.
Только она была взаправду.
And she was real.
Видишь?
See? Mom showed us a tired smile, as if it was the only explanation she needed. I also forced myself to smile. My smile was like a thin piece of soap right before it dissolves completely in your palm. But when I was left alone with my sister, I whispered,
Еще раз увидишь ее, беги.
"If you see her again, run." I shut my eyes and threw the vitamins in my mouth, washed them down with water. Please, stop driving me mad. Please. I was doing my homework on a Friday evening like usual. Do I keep getting Amazon pop-ups? What do you mean? Like... I'm going to save real quick. I had already finished the hard part. There was only my artwork left, my favorite subject. I needed to draw some sort of magic beast. I wanted to draw a dino at first, but my brush reached toward the orange paint all by itself. One stroke after another, the picture of a fox started slowly forming on a piece of paper. She was almost popping out of the snow, white sheet. She stood on her back legs and wore a sly smile. My brush moved again, drawing a fluffy tail. A moment later, it dropped out of my weak hand. After I finished my drawing, I spent a while studying it in surprise, as if I couldn't understand where this red beast came from. The longer I looked, the scarier her smile felt. Carnivorous, fake, like the smiles of women from adult magazines that were sold in press kiosks back in the city. An alluring smile that masked deep-seated malice. And the fox's eyes turned out red, as if bloodshot. They looked more like bullet holes you see in action movies. I don't remember drawing them this way. I moved away from the table, and the lamp's light reflected from the wet paint. The drawing was glossy. It felt like the fox was watching me, waiting.
Ты что, оглох?
Are you deaf?
Я задумался.
I was thinking...
Тебя спрашиваю, ты сестру не видел?
I'll ask you again, have you seen your sister?
Опять она где-то прячется.
She's hiding somewhere again. Something moved under my bed and I froze. Olia's dirty face peeked out with a finger pressed to her lips.
Оля, я тебя вижу. Вылезай, ты же в пыли
Olia, I
вся.
can see you. Get out from there. You're covered in dust. Olia crawled from under the bed and started dusting off her stockings, looking down.
Пойдем, Оль.
Let's
Я
go.
тебе сказку почитаю.
I'll read you a fairy tale.
Посижу с тобой, пока не уснешь.
Keep you company until you fall asleep.
Я с вами спать хочу. Не в той комнате.
I want to sleep with you. Not in that room. It's... Mom entered the room.
Что, опять сова?
What, the owl
А
again?
кто ж еще?
What do you think?
Оль, она не придет больше.
Olia, it won't come
Я
anymore.
её
I chased it
прогнал.
away. Olia shook her head in defiance.
Прогнал.
You didn't.
Она придет.
And it will come.
Она сказала, что будет
It said that it'll come
каждую ночь
every
приходить.
night.
О, так она у тебя говорящая?
Oh, it talks now. Olia ignored the question and then asked with newfound determination,
Можно я с вами посплю?
"Can I sleep with you?
Можно?
Please.
В самый последний
This will be the
раз.
last time.
А пусть у меня ложится.
Why don't you let her sleep in my room?" I thought it was a great idea, but Olia shook her head again.
Нет, у тебя не хочу. Она и на тебя смотрит.
No, I don't want your room. It watches you too. I felt goosebumps all over my
Хватит.
body. Enough.
Нет никакой совы.
There's no
Ты
owl.
сегодня спишь у себя,
You're
ясно?
sleeping in your own room tonight. Got it?
Ну, пожалуйста, мам.
Mom, please.
Пожалуйста.
Please. Mom took Olia's hand and tried to lead her out of my
Пойдем,
room.
милые. Не мешай брату.
Let's go, sweetie. Don't bother your brother. Olia clutched the bed's head with her free hand.
Пожалуйста, пожалуйста, пожалуйста.
Please, please, please.
Не хочу к ней.
I don't want to go to it. Mom was tugging Olia toward herself, but she didn't budge. Only the bed's head squeaked in agony. Dad intervened by picking Olia up and carrying her out of the room, despite her desperate protests and pleas.
Не надо.
No,
Не надо к ней.
don't take me to it.
Она опять смотреть будет.
It's going to watch me again.
Мамочка, пожалуйста. Ну, папочка, ну скажи.
I listened to them struggling to make my little sister go to bed for a while.
Мне страшно.
In the end, my parents gave up and let Olia sleep with them.
Последний
But it was surely the last time ever. When everybody settled down, I was lying in my room, thinking about Olya's words. It's watching you too. I felt uncomfortable. I barely managed to calm down, only after closing the curtains in my room shut. But as soon as I closed my eyes, memories of my day started jumping around in front of me. I was in the middle of the stuffy school corridor. I could see the literature classroom from there, the faces of dead classical writers on the portraits, the prim and regal pose of our homeroom teacher, Lilia Palvona. And around that corner was her daughter, Katya. Katya, a snitch and a gossip, eagerly waiting for me.
Эй, новенький, новенький.
Hey, transfer student, transfer student.
Чего тебе, Кать?
What do you want, Katya? She got up on her tiptoes and started swaying while hiding her hands behind her back, then asked me with a fake smile on her face.
Скажи, пожалуйста, а чего это тебя к нам перевели, а?
Can I ask you something? Why did you get transferred here? I might have told the truth about this to Polina, but Katya will sell it on the market for 3 kopyakas? I don't know how to say that. It would be the same as printing all my thoughts and hanging them near Volva's picture for everyone to see. So I reverted to an answer I knew by heart.
Это все из-за моих родителей.
It's all because of my
У папы
parents.
тут новая работа, а мама...
Dad has a new job here, and my mom. But Katya didn't even listen to me. Just rushed toward the perked up ears of her friends, whispered something while stealing glances at me and giggling.
Да, конечно, конечно.
Yeah,
Он
right.
нас тут совсем за дурачков держит.
He takes us all for fools.
Я вот слыхала, что это все из-за его отца.
I've heard it's all because of his
Он
father.
недавно кому-то крутому дорогу перешел, и теперь они всей своей семейкой в нашем захолустье скрываются.
He crossed the road of some big shot, and now their family is hiding in our remote little village.
Неправда! Ты все врешь!
That's not true, you're lying.
А слышали? Слышали, как ему Бабурин всыпал?
And did you hear? Did you hear how Baburin beat him up?
А этот лишь ручки опустил, да глазенки потупил.
All he could do was look all pathetic and take it.
Прекрати! Ты знаешь, он не один был!
Stop it, you know he wasn't
И
alone.
будто этого мало.
And if that wasn't enough,
Ходят слухи, что этот чудик повсюду таскает с собой заячью маску.
there are rumors that this weirdo carries a bunny mask with him wherever he goes. I have 5 different names. Those faces are terrifying. Oh, I agree. They don't have eyes. Like,
Ой, девочки, ну кто же в своем
CJ,
уме
Victor,
будет такое
Emmanuel,
делать?
Vic, and everyone assumes to be my name, John. Huh.
Ясно, понятно.
Oh wait, I
Со
didn't
странностями.
read the last line. Give me a sec. Who in their right mind would do something like that? Huh? Girls? I see our Antoshka must be truly special.
Может, слабоумный.
So call me whatever.
А может,
Alright. Maybe he's an but what if
и маньяк?
he's a serial killer?
Если в его портфеле хорошо покопаться, там и топор отыскать можно.
I'm sure you'll be able to find an axe in his backpack if you look hard enough. Or something even worse.
Да-да-да.
Yes.
Замолчи!
They look real for some reason. I mean, like, I think it was going for a little bit more realistic look, but also like it's like in the uncanny valley territory. Shut up.
Ха-ха, вон как раскричался-то, будто ужаленный.
Look at him scream as if something hit him. Wait, you know the black-eyed children, right? I know about, I think it was like Black-Eyed Girls from Adventure Time. It's like that, but they don't have eyes.
А зрачки-то, зрачки какие широкие.
His pupils, look at how wide they are.
Опять чего доброго с катушек слетит и руки распускать начнет.
I hope you won't go insane and resort to violence again.
Не зря же его мать с таблетками пичкает.
I know the Adventure Time episode you're talking about. Well, yeah. I mean, there must be a reason his mom always feeds him those pills, right? I just stood there in confusion, trying to vain to understand how she found out about my medicine. And what scared me even more was the possibility that her nonsense had some truth mixed in.
Да-да,
Yeah, that's right.
он такой же ненормальный, как и его сестрица.
He's as insane as little sister.
Представляете, к этой сумасшедшей дурочке каждую ночь прилетает сова ростом с человека.
Can you imagine that she says a human-sized owl visits her every night?
Только что-то ее никто из здоровых людей не видел.
But not a single healthy person has seen it,
А этот наивный простак ей верит.
and this simpleton believes her.
Нет, ну вы представляете?
Can you imagine that? And then I caught a single kind look from the smirking crowd.
Как же так, Антон?
How can it be, Anton?
Неужели действительно тебе не здоровится?
Are you unwell?
Полина, послушай меня.
Melina, please listen to me. I know I can't swallow the pill. My body says no. Like, breast, swallow the pill, and I will make you throw up. Or, so I had that happen to me. Stuff for you guys. Honestly, when it comes to like having to swallow pills, you kind of just have to practice and get used to it. That's the most I can really say. Well, Lena, please listen to me.
Как же?
You're right.
Не слушай этого болтуна, Полиночка.
Don't listen to this liar, Polinashka.
Это ничтожество даже постоять за себя не может.
This loser can't even stand up for himself,
А при случае и за тебя не заступится.
and he won't be able to defend you if it comes down to it.
Бросит, думая, как бы только самому по шее не схлопотать.
He'll run away to protect his own skin.
Слабак.
Weakling. Polina slouched as if someone kicked her in the stomach, and then burst out in tears and fell to the dirty floor, wailing and screaming. No. No.
Антон! Почему? За что?
Why, Anton? Why? I couldn't understand her reaction, but I still rushed to Polina's side before getting shoved violently by Katya.
Убери от нее свои лапы, чудовище!
Get your paws off her, you monster. Rage was building up under the veil of my fear. It slowly rose from the cloudy mist. I felt my upper lip creep up, showing my
То,
teeth.
что твой отец бьет мать, еще не дает тебе права поднимать руку на девушку!
The fact that your father beat your mother doesn't give you the right to do the same to girls. My fists became hammers. I couldn't unclench them. Nobody can speak about my family like that. I came to my senses when I already lunged at the angry Katya.
Ага! Слетел-таки! Слетел!
Aha! He went nuts. Nuts.
Спасите! Помогите! Петров с катушек слетел!
Help, help. Petrov went completely insane. Now the creepy faces are all wobbly. At the same moment, the crowd around her became louder, started whistling and roaring. And growing. And growing. The subtle silhouettes of my schoolmates became larger, wider. They shot upward toward the ceiling. Those faces are awful, I agree. One of them looks like Voldemort. Yeah, I can see that. Turned into a giant black forest, chock full of toothy faces. I shrank to a tiny ball of fur and started shaking in fear before the might of ulcer-ridden trunks that belonged to either trees or humans. It was impossible to tell.
Вот ты и показал свое животное нутро!
So you finally shown your animal nature.
Трус!
Coward. Katya's face was twisted with jubilation and ecstasy. Why? No. Why did you do this to me? Polina screamed while choking on her tears. He is just.
Животное!
An animal. An outsider. A scary flapping of wings came from the forest. A pair of giant white ears descended somewhere from above, and I dug myself onto them. Please. Wake up. I jumped up, almost falling out of bed. Apparently I was thrashing around for hours on the sweat-soaked sheets. Olya's scream pulled me out, set me free from the tentacles of fear. Please. Wake up, wake up. It took my eyes a while to focus on the silhouette near the window. Olya's voice was distant. My head was still ringing after the fight. Sounds got distorted, as if my ears were stuffed with cotton. My sister, as distressed as ever, just kept on repeating the same phrase. The owl, the owl. Please. I'm scared. Her tears poured on my heart like boiling water, but I was almost thankful for the owl's appearance. Otherwise, this scared Olya wouldn't have woken me up.
Оля, я сейчас.
Wait a second, Olya.
Хочешь, я тебе Мурзилку почитаю?
You want me to read Mulzik? I don't know how to pronounce it for you, but let's see what that is. A Soviet and Russian monthly illustrated magazine for kids. It's been published since 1924. The magazine uses an unidentified yellow creature wearing a scarf and a red beret as its mascot. Writers like Samuel Marsh contributed to the magazine early in their careers.
Подожди.
Give me... I placed my bare heels on the cold floor, felt around for my glasses, remembered Simon his underhanded act, and sighed. I don't think that's his sister. Please, please. Look. She couldn't tear her eyes off the windows, as if it was a staring contest. I found a light switch with my hand. The lamp poured bright light all over me. I got up. My vision fooled me, moving the window closer only to push it farther the next moment. My sister was just a blurry spot. I took a hesitant step forward. Olya?
Что там?
What's there?
Что-то случилось?
What happened?
Ты хочешь, чтобы я открыл шторы?
Do you want me to open the curtains? No, please don't. The owl is there. The voice was coming from behind. I turned around and froze from terror. Interesting. She is right there. Teary-eyed Olya stood in the doorway. Who? Who were you talking to right now? She stared at me with eyes that were red from crying. With her hands wrapped around her shoulders, her voice was nervous, as if she was afraid to hear my answer.
Я разговаривал с тобой. С тем,
I
кто
was talking to you.
притворился тобой.
To someone who pretended to be you. The ledge outside my windows creaked ominously, as if something huge was sitting on top of it. And the thing that pretended to be Olya started spreading, changing shape, growing to scary heights under the light of a carnivorous moon. Please. Come closer. Come here. The voice didn't belong to my sister anymore. The thing that was hiding behind my curtains got tired of pretending, making me look like a fool. I pinched myself as hard as I could, hoping that the silhouette near the window was just a continuation of my nightmare, a hallucination brought upon by the cursed house. And those don't bite, do they? The silhouette was towering before me, under the veil of mist. I heard Olya's shrill scream when somebody had knocked on the window. It came to get us. Another knock. I stepped back into the middle of the room, as if there exist nooks where I could hide from this horror. The sound was sharp, metallic. The lamp started shimmering. Then it suddenly lighted the hole and went out like a candle under a strong wind. The filament inside it snapped with a ringing sound. The darkness that was waiting for the exact moment poured from all the angles and enveloped me. There was only this window left in the whole universe. Moonlight poured through it, painting everything the color of bones that were exhumed from a crypt. Olya started squealing and pressed herself onto my back, seeking protection. And then an eye, burning with a carnivorous fire, stared at us from the window. No, it wasn't trying to break the window. It was toying with us. It just kept on knocking, driving us mad. As if a giant clock was measuring the time left for us, its pendulum swinging above the abyss. She was screaming in desperation, her hands clutching my arm like a pair of pincers. Come closer. I could barely make out a pair of wings that spread out above the black spot. Tell her, Anton. Tell it that I won't be a bad girl anymore. Never ever. I want it to leave. Please. The moonlight suddenly disappeared, and the room descended into darkness. We couldn't see the burning eye anymore. I swallowed the stingy lamp that was stuck in my throat. I stepped toward the curtains, entranced by the call of this disfigured guest. Olya was standing behind me, mumbling, "I'll be good, I'll be good, I'll be good." The bleak window was creeping closer, curtains rustled. I reached out to move them aside so I could look my fear in the eye. At that moment, I heard noise coming from our parents' bedroom. Without thinking, I pulled the curtain to the side in one swing. Nothing. Though there was something shining on the ledge, among the scattered feathers. My glasses. The ones that Simon took from me. How did they get there? Was that a gift from the gurgling night? Did that owl really bring them here? I looked at the front yard, at the foreboding clearing, at the toothy forest. Not a soul, not a trace of our late-night guest. Only the old lamppost, dreaming like a lone watchman among the snowy desert. The dry window frame creaked. I tore away the insulating tape with the stripes of glued newspapers. Opened the window with big trouble. Frost pinned me with its little needles. The paintings on my walls moved from the draft. I touched my glasses, sure they would melt in my hands, but they were real. My brain was scrambling for an explanation. Simon and his gang just pulled a prank on me. That was it. That's it. A smooth white blanket was glittering under the street lamps, just outside our yard. If anybody was to get close to the house, to climb the pipe to the ledge of my window, they would surely leave footprints, but there were none. I cautiously took my glasses. My wrist was still intact. Nobody pulled me into the darkness, full of breathless withering.
Вы почему не спите?
Why aren't you in bed? I swayed from surprise and almost fell out of my window.
Совсем сдурели?
Are you out of your mind?
Жарко, что ли?
Did it feel hot in here?
Не болели давно?
Do you want to catch a cold?
Там сова была! Тоша ее прогнал!
The owl was here. Tosha chased it
А
away.
ну-ка марш спать к себе в комнату!
Go to your room immediately and get to your bed.
А с тобой?
And you. Mom paused, directing her seething eyes at me. She was thinking of punishment equivalent to my crime. In the end, she just waved her hand, took Olya by the shoulder and left, throwing gloomy words my way.
Завтра поговорим.
We'll talk tomorrow. I managed to get the frame back in place with a couple of hits, pressed the latches with all the strength my fingers could muster. The cold left the room, but the fear was still present. I placed my glasses on my nose and started studying my reflection in the window. It didn't look like a face, more like a death mask. Just like the one worn by the boy from the notice board. That night, I was on edge of joining him there. A black and white face was staring at me through the clearing between student heads. But it wasn't Volvo. His face was right beside it. I recognized the fat cheeks, the damaged skin. Simon. And now he's missing too. Budburn's photo was printed out and placed under the glass, like an exhibition piece. Alright. We will stop there. Unless I want to overwrite my save. Alright. Alright. Oh man. It do be spooky. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in with me today for our playthroughs of Deepest Sword and Tiny Bunny. I'll probably do chapter 3 of Tiny Bunny sometime in the future. We'll see. Tomorrow I will be streaming some more Eastward. I am pretty sure we're starting chapter 4? Something like that. But yeah, hope you all have a good one. Have a good night, morning, evening, whatever time zone you're in. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.